Hi, this is Kate from Izzalicious Designs, and today I'm going to show you how to make Minecraft Steve. We're going to be starting with a single loom. The arrows are facing toward us and all columns are going to be the same height. We're going to be double banding, which means you take two bands and you place them across the pins as if they were a single band. So you place them together like that. So let's work our way down the loom. This is his hair. Then we're moving to a flesh tone. I'm using the Lucky Loom flesh tone. They're a thicker silicone band, but they do have a nice result. We're not defining any sort of neck or anything with the Minecraft Steve because he's just sort of like a walking box. So no neck, we're just going straight into his t-shirt on his shoulders here. Move down 3 for that. And then we're going into his trousers. Well, not literally into his trousers, but you know what I mean. Oh, sorry, I'm getting carried away. We're now going to move to black for his shoes. I'm going to use 3 bands for the shoes, just so that they're a bit thicker. Like so. And I'm going to use 2 bands here, 2 bands here, and I'm going to put an end cap on this one here. Like so. Now, using a single band, we're going to work our way up our figure and do crossover bands, just spreading those single bands out to go across the length of those 3 pins, pegs, whatever we call them. Now we must do arms. Take a single flesh tone band, wrap it once and twice, and slide it onto 2 flesh tone bands together. Slide that onto another 2 flesh tone bands, and 1 more pair of flesh tone bands. Now we need to do 2 pair of the turquoise bands for his sleeves for his t-shirt. So that's 1 pair and the second pair, and we'll place that here on the shoulder. We'll do the same on the other side. a single band, wrap it once and twice, double band, double band, try and make it so that it's sitting nicely and not twisted and gnarly, another pair. Now we'll move to the turquoise bands. Our first pair, and now second pair, like that. Let's put this other arm on. I need to do a crossover band between these, but what I'm going to do is take a single band, pop it under my arm and stretch it across like that. So you can put it on before or after, it really doesn't matter. Now, using the flesh tone bands, we're going to do single bands across like that. We need to put his eyes on. I'm going to use my 2.75 crochet dude hook for this because the beads fit very nicely down. They're the mini pony beads, and I'm going to just thread those onto one of my flesh tone bands. Now this crossover band here I'm going to take off. I'm going to twist it 3 times, 1, 2 and 3. Place one side there, the other side on the other peg, on the corresponding peg there. That's going to stop these eyes from sinking into our figure and getting lost. So we'll do that. Now the other thing that I would like to do, I'm going to move this band up here eventually, but before I do that I'm going to just take it off. Oh, that was fancy. Grabbing a single brown band, I'm going to lift off that band and I'm going to use this brown band almost like an end cap, like that, and place that back. That's just figure eighted and put it on that peg there. That is going to be his goatee. Now the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to raise that up here. Okay. Alright, I think we're ready to start looming. Let's go down to the bottom here where his feet are, go past that end cap, and we need to find the 2 bands that are on top, and in this case it's the 2 on the right, and very carefully drop everything off. There we go. It was stuck on the peg. Go down past the end cap again and grab the next band and loom that to the left. We're now going to loom these middle bands up. So make sure you've passed the end cap and loom up. Now these are his shoes. Pass that band, dig down and dig down. And because he's just a box, I haven't really done specific shoes, he's just a box. Onto the turquoise bands. Loom up the arms. If it looks like your bands are going to fall off the peg, just push everything down first. Chest. Dig down, find those 2 bottom flesh tone bands. Okay, so it doesn't really matter if these bands come across like this because they've already been secured in by the bands above. Now we're at this spot here. What we need to do is loom these ones up. But before we continue looming, we want to get these brown ones. Let me see if I can zoom in for you to see clearly what I'm doing. Okay, these brown ones here, we need to flip from there over to here. So we're going to go past the end, the crossover band, dig past those top layer of flesh bands and pull that up and over and kind of try and straighten it out a bit. Okay. Alright, so let's go back to looming. We're going to dig down and find those two flesh tone and loom up, pushing the crossover bands out the way as we do this. Past the eyes, grab those two and loom up. And we're going to finish in the middle here, so loom both of these side ones to the middle, grab a pair of brown bands, dig down, out through the side, put your brown bands on your hook and pull them back through to the back of that peg and reclaim the end of your bands, then taking the two closest to you, up, over and off, and pull tight. Now we're going to take this off the loom. So let's pull this into shape. Trousers, shoes, shirt, arms, and there's his little goatee, which is actually sort of just sitting down there. I'm going to use a blue Sharpie and I'm going to draw little blue squares for eyes on my beads. Like that. Pull his arms down a bit. Okay, so we're just going to pretty up his moustache a little bit, and by doing that we're going to put our hook through his face here, through under the two black brown bands. Pull another single brown band through. Pushing your hook like this, you're going to take the one nearest to you off and over, and then we have a slip knot like so. We're going to do the same on the other side. Pull it through, position it correctly, one closest to you up and over in a slip knot, like so. Now these two loops are going to go through the back of his head. So what we want to do is try and not leave these great big gaps in the bands here in his head. So I'm going to pick a spot, grab the end of that loop and pull it to the back of his head like so. I'm going to do the same here, and I'm actually going down between the band of the eye almost. Don't know if you can see that. So grab that and pull it, and that is forming his little goatee with beard. And then at the back here I've got the 2 loops. I'm going to take the one nearest me and loop it over. I'm also going to hide these brown bands from the back of his neck that we tied off with. So moving those down, I'm going to hide them under some of these bands. Well, not really hide them, but make them shorter and less obvious. Okay, so let's grab some of these bands all on the back here. I'm going to take those 2 like that, take those 2 like that, and then take that one like that. So I have 1 band left, and with that 1 band I'm going to place an S clip on it there and an S clip on the back of that band there, and there we have that discreetly held at the back. And there we have Minecraft Steve. Pretty his hair up. You know, these men, they get their hair all sort of... There we go. So I look forward to seeing how yours turn out. Take care. Bye bye.